Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
Great Scott! There's no crying in baseball!
You better hold on tight, Spider Monkey.
This is where the fun begins.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. That's right. We're ranking Scary Movie. Scary Movie is a 2026 American parody film. It is the 6th installment in the Scary Movie series following Scary Movie 5 from 2013. It is referred as a spiritual sequel to the first 2 Scary Movie films. In the film, a group of clueless friends find themselves caught in a series of outrageous situations as the film spoofs modern horror movies and pop culture trends. Now, I hadn't watched really any of the previous Scary Movie films. They came out when I was a kid. I think my parents might have owned like Scary Movie 4, but I never found it funny. I mean, it's made for adults. I was a kid, so clearly a lot of things were going over my head, but it might just be a terrible film. I don't know, I haven't seen it in a long time. So I was kind of excited to watch this movie because, I don't know, I just feel like movies haven't been that great at being funny recently, and this is just an easy type of film to get into and just watch it make fun of a bunch of movies that you've seen recently. It's just a good time to go out with your friends and watch. And I'll say, knowing exactly what this movie was and just trying to take it for what it was, I thought it was pretty funny. Now, I have seen a lot of the people who have seen the original Scary Movies or actually liked them really didn't like this movie, and I can say that for me, not having watched the previous ones or caring, I wasn't as harsh. I did think it was fairly funny. Is it the best movie in the world? No. Will I ever really rewatch it? Maybe once in my life, but no, probably not. It's pretty forgettable, but it was still a good time to me. Let's get into why with the 10 essential aspects of the movie. First is plot. Does the movie follow a comprehensive story arc and is plausible within the world that has been created? There really isn't much of a plot for this movie. There's no real story throughout the entire thing, other than the consistency of Scream being the villain, killing people throughout the entire movie. But this movie is a lot like a Family Guy episode. And even Family Guy, I would say, has a little bit more of a consistent story throughout an episode. It's just a bunch of skits that are looking to make you laugh and make fun of movies that you have seen. And that's about it. And a lot of people that I have seen who watched the original movies have been complaining about that. Personally, I didn't care. It's a spoof movie. It's a parody movie. I mean, I just don't care that much. If they do follow some sort of story, it's probably not going to be that good anyways. And maybe the problem is that I haven't watched a lot of really well done parody movies, and I would disagree if I had done that. But really, I just came into the movie to have a good time, and I had a good time. So if you're bothered by the fact that it doesn't have a consistent story, I think you're kind of missing the whole objective of the film itself. So there really isn't a plot here, but I personally didn't mind. Second is attraction. Does the movie have an interesting premise with a high entertainment value? Well, in my notes, I just kind of put that if you like the first 2, you'll probably like this one because they're all the same people. The more I read people's reviews, the more I realized that isn't necessarily true. It actually seems like the people who like the originals really don't like this one, and anyone who likes this one just didn't watch the originals. I would say I would compare it again to that Family Guy episode. If you can stand a Family Guy episode, understanding that it's going to be a bunch of callbacks and it's just not going to really... Family Guy does have somewhat of a story for some episodes, but there's some episodes that the story is just stupid and it's really just there to hit joke after joke after joke after joke. If you can enjoy that out of that, I think you can enjoy this movie. There is fun to be had if you just understand that it's not going to be the highest quality movie. It's not going to be funny at all moments. It just has to hit every now and then for you. I think if you have a group of friends, this is a good time overall. Like, it's just fun to make fun of previous movies. It's kind of something that doesn't really go on anymore. There's not really parody movies anymore. So I don't know. To me, I was just enjoying it for what it was. If you can do the same thing, I think you will find some enjoyment as well. Third is theme. What message or truth is the movie trying to convey? This is probably the easiest theme I've ever done for a movie. It doesn't exist. There's no reason for it to. That's not the purpose of this movie. Fourth is dialogue. Is there a real feel to the conversations? Of course not. It's not really what this movie was ever going for, but what it was going for was trying to be funny. And personally, I thought it was funny at times. Is it the funniest movie in the world? No. Is it funny enough for me to go back and watch it? No, probably not. It's not that funny. But it's not like the entire thing is not funny. There were definitely moments and a couple jokes that I enjoyed. There were a lot that missed, but I didn't really care because I understood what kind of movie I was watching. So I knew that not all of them were going to hit, and I didn't care that much. But there were a couple that I thought were genuinely funny. And honestly, I thought the movie actually got funnier as it went on. There is a point in the movie where they make fun of streamers and they have Kai Cenat come on. That point to me was kind of the moment where I thought the movie got funnier for the rest of the film. I was struggling in the beginning because a lot of the jokes were stupid and none of them were really hitting. And then they kind of got into a flow after the streaming or the Get Out reference that I thought was really funny, and the rest of it I just kind of enjoyed more overall. I don't know if that was just me, but I did think it got funnier as it went on. Fifth is acting. Are the characters convincing? Yeah, of course they're not convincing, but honestly, there's no one here to point out that I thought was consistently funnier than everybody else. I do think that there is a noticeable difference between the people that have been doing comedy for a while and the people who haven't, and all the original characters I did find fairly funny at some point and not funny at others. It's just kind of a mixed bag here. 6 is cinematography. Is there creative use of lighting, setting, and wardrobe to convey emotion? Now, obviously, the only emotion you're supposed to feel in this movie is laughter. So I've already gone over that a couple times already. It is going to be funny to some and not to others. That's pretty much how comedy always works. It's pretty subjective, depends on who you are. I think if you can accept what this movie is and just go into it with an open mind, it can be funny at points. I will say that it seemed like they had a higher production value. I didn't look at the budget. I don't know if it was much bigger than what they had originally. I imagine it was. I thought it was funny. I thought they referenced a lot of good movies at certain points. It seemed like they put a good amount of effort into, you know, the sets and recreating some of the movies' looks and props and stuff. I thought they did a good job and seemed like they put a lot of effort into trying to replicate a lot of the movies and make it funny. 7th is editing. This is all about the pace of the movie. The movie is an hour and 36 minutes long. Perfect for me, honestly. This movie should really never be an hour 40 over. It should just stay in that hour 30 range, maybe an hour 20, and that's fine. I thought they wrapped it up when it needed to be wrapped up. It had a good pace to it. It definitely didn't feel like it was taking too much time or spending too long on a certain subject. It kind of moved at the pace that I thought it should, and then when it came to the final act, that felt appropriate. I was at the time where I was thinking, this really should wrap up, and it started wrapping up. So I think the time for this movie is pretty solid. 8th is soundtrack. It's forgettable. I mean, it does help at moments to being funny, but for the most part, I can't even remember most of the music in this movie. 9th is directing. Now I feel the directors in charge of the previous 8 aspects. They're the ones that have to put it all together, give it their stamp of approval, and make a really good movie. Now the director of this movie is Michael Tides, and this was his 7th film. The 7 films he's directed to this point are A Haunted House, A Haunted House 2, 50 Shades of Black, Naked, Sextuplets, Half-Baked, Totally High, and finally, Scary Movie. He seems like he's got his avenue, right? I mean, I have never seen any of those movies. I don't think I'm necessarily the audience for any of those movies, but he's made enough that obviously he has some sort of audience that thinks that he is funny and just sticks to that, sticks to what he knows. I think this movie fits exactly what he wants to do with his career as a director with comedy. I don't mind it. I mean, there's always an avenue for everybody, right? Some people really hate Will Ferrell, can't stand him. I'm glad that he has movies because I really like him. So even though there's movies I don't necessarily love or think are that funny, you have to have them sometimes because everybody has a different, genre that they like, a different kind of comedy that they enjoy. And there's obviously a good group that enjoys him as a director. So I think he, kind of warrants his place to make these comedy movies because people seem to like him. 10th is time. Will it stand the test of time? Yeah, probably in some way. I think it kind of fits the bill of the original Scary movies. I think obviously that's kind of to be debated because a lot of the people who like the originals didn't like this movie, but overall, I think it kind of does a good job of introducing these kind of movies to a new audience, because it's been what, over 13 years since we even got a last scary movie, and that wasn't even the same director, and they seem to kind of poke fun at the fact that the 3 through 5 is very different than 1 and 2. So yeah, I don't know, it'll stand the test of time of being lumped in with those movies and having some sort of audience that will enjoy these kinds of movies. Now for the review section. Rotten Tomatoes critics gives it a 23, the audience gives it a 67, and IMDb gives it a 55. 23 is kind of crazy. I mean, I get it. I know that in some sort of critique way, when you're trying to look at movies as an art form, maybe you're just getting so stuck on the fact that it is what it is. But I mean, you have to recognize what this movie was meant to be from the beginning, right? It's never supposed to be very serious, and even as a comedy, it's not even supposed to be really clever, well done comedy. It is just kind of supposed to be junk comedy, slap comedy. Like, it's not supposed to be that great. Is that an excuse? No, I mean, you can make really good parody movies and have much better jokes and much better timing, but I just don't care that much. I would never put a movie like this so low, because at the end of the day, it's never supposed to be that serious. So I'm probably closer to a 67. I'm with the audience. It's okay. I didn't find it crazy funny. I'd never watch it again, but I do think that there's an audience out there for it. I think all the hate for it is kind of silly. It's just supposed to be a fun movie, and I had some fun out of it. Finally, for the rankings. For the year of 2026, out of 6 total movies on the entertainment side, it is going to be 6, just below The Devil Wears Prada 2. It's an entertaining movie, right? That's all it was made for, was to be entertaining, and I think it accomplishes that for the particular audience that it was going for. I just happen to not be one of those people. I didn't really enjoy it all that much, so I would rather watch The Devil Wears Prada 2 before I watch Scary Movie again. Cinematically, out of 6 total movies, it is going to be 6. Yeah, below Backrooms. Not really close, of course. I mean, this movie is not meant to be cinematic. It's supposed to be entertaining, though it does have some sections where I think, it's creative and does some good things. It doesn't compare to a movie like Backrooms. For the decade of the 2020s, out of 77 total movies on the entertainment side, it is going to be 52nd, just below Gladiator 2 and above a Minecraft movie. It's in that same tier for the audience level. I've got it below Gladiator 2, personal preference. Gladiator 2 is in a tier above it, but even then, I personally would rather watch Gladiator 2 than Scary Movie again, even though I didn't even really like Gladiator 2 that much. I do have it above a Minecraft movie, just not a movie I would really want to watch again either, but I found moments of Scary Movie to be funnier, right? A Minecraft movie is supposed to be a comedy movie, but in a different way, right? Like, I wasn't expecting it to be as silly as Scary Movie is, and so I don't accept a lot of the kind of not so clever things to happen. I expected Scary Movie to not be that clever and then have moments of being clever. I expected a Minecraft movie to be written better, and it just wasn't. And I would rather watch Scary Movie over again. I'm a movie reviewer. I watch a lot of movies, right? And I enjoy them. So there is that aspect of Scary Movie that I personally enjoy. I like seeing all the movies that I've seen, all the horror movies, all the references, and I like seeing how they're going to incorporate those into the movie and how many there are. It's just a lot of fun for me, and I would prefer to watch that again rather than a Minecraft movie. Now, cinematically, out of 77 total movies, it is going to be 56. Just below Clown in a Cornfield and above The Bad Guys 2. I think Clown in a Cornfield is obviously a little bit better put together. But they both kind of accomplish what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to be funny, but I think Clown in a Cornfield has a little bit more storytelling going on, and I think as an art form, that's a little bit harder to do, and I just want to give them credit for trying to keep at least a consistent storyline rather than skit after skit after skit. I feel like skits can be easier. You don't have to care as much about the flow, and so I give props for Clown in a Cornfield for doing that. I do have it above The Bad Guys 2. Really did not like that movie, so it keeps going down. I could see where people disagree. This movie is really hard to rank cinematically because it just doesn't really have that purpose. There's only a couple things I could point out, so I was a little lost on where to put this on the list, but I did settle above The Bad Guys 2 because I do think that that movie is supposed to have cinematic aspects and falls flat on its face, where the Scary Movie I wasn't expecting any, and then I found a couple that I enjoyed. For all time, out of 95 total movies on the entertainment side, it is going to be 68th, just below Gladiator 2 and above a Minecraft movie. It's there for the exact same reasons as before. And cinematically, out of 95 total movies, it is going to be 73rd, just below Clown on a Cornfield and above The Bad Guys 2. It's there for the exact same reasons as before. Okay, that's all I've got for Scary Movie. I was actually really surprised to hear all the negative comments and reviews that I saw after watching the movie, because I left thinking, hey, that was a good time. It wasn't a waste of my time. I mean, it could have been much worse. I didn't think so. I thought it had moments where it was funny, and it was nice to just sit down and watch a movie and know that I don't have to take it serious at all. There's no part of this movie that's going to be serious, that I'm going to care about. I'm just going to try and laugh and have a good time. And when I went into it with that attitude, I really did have a good time. So if you didn't, please let me know down below what you did or did not like about the movie. I always enjoy when people comment and I get to have a little bit of interaction, create a little bit of a community here. That would be really fun. Of course, I'm a small YouTube channel, so people who comment, I always reply because I just don't get that many. If you want to comment another movie you want me to review, I will put it on my list and I will get to it. But otherwise, I'm Mr. Majoritarian. Stay classy, San Diego.